Hey everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to the latest edition of Bobcast. Trying to get the light just right here. I got a new desk light. See? So, trying to get the light just right. Thanks for jumping on. As you see by the title of tonight's Bobcast, it's People Matter, Things Don't. So let's start off with the fact that Hi Jill! Let's start off with the fact that our 30 days of acts of random kindness, I got it right, Mia, just ended. Today was actually the fourth Monday, so just finished up. We lost a few people along the way, but there were a lot of us. Hi, Christina. But there were a lot of people that continued on and kept going with the acts of random kindness. Hi, Todd and Chuck. So I want to tell everyone that participated, thank you. We may have lost a few people, but there was, you figure, probably about 15 people that stuck around with it. Times 30, that's a lot of acts of random kindness. Colette didn't choke anyone. Hi, Colette. Christina didn't either. So there's two people that lived because of those acts of random kindness. So I want to thank everybody for participating in that and encourage you to continue to do it. Just because I don't have a challenge going on, feel free to message me or comment somewhere that you did it again. There was a lot of stuff that went on that was awesome. So today's Bobcast is titled People Matter, Things Don't. Here's where we're going with this. Steve Jobs, everyone knows Steve Jobs. In anyone's estimation, is mega successful, mega wealthy, mansions, cars, whatever he wanted. Obviously, one of the co-founders of Apple, right? Brilliant guy. And as he lay on his deathbed, he thought back and lamented that he wished he had gone after love more. I don't know his quote in order to quote it, but kind of paraphrasing. He wished he had focused a little more on love, because as he laid on his deathbed, he realized that his Maserati, his mansion, really didn't mean that much in the end, in the big scheme of things. So what I want to do is encourage you that if you have strained relationships, if you have people in your life maybe that you haven't spoken to for quite a while, if you have people in your life that you haven't talked to in a while or said I love you in a while, I'd like to encourage you to reach out and do that. About probably 20 or 25 years ago, there was a period of 5 years where I didn't speak to my mom. We had a falling out, and it was pretty serious stuff, but I felt it was justified. And then after my step-grandmother passed away, I realized that if I didn't make amends, that I would regret it for the rest of my life. And so I reached out to her, and we reconnected and got our relationship. Actually, it became even better than it ever was. And I was with her till the end of her life. And I got to be honest with you, if I hadn't done that and she had passed away or something, I would have beaten myself up forever over it, because regret's a powerful, painful thing. So, strained relationship. If you got one, you're not necessarily going to fix it, okay? But at least be the bigger person and reach out and just say, hey, was thinking about you, hope you're doing well. Something like that. I've apologized over the last few years to a few people who were important in my life when I was young and a real smart ass, because I was a smart ass when I was young. You think I'm a smart ass now? I was back then too. These people meant a lot to me. And so over the past few years, as I started this personal growth training, I started making sure they knew that I truly appreciated all the things they did for me when I was a young man, and how important they were and how much I admired them. So you don't even always have to apologize, but maybe if you just make things right, it's for you more than anything else. Sometimes people, you forgive people that never know you forgave them. Sometimes you forgive people who aren't sorry. It's just the way it is. But when you forgive someone and you fix that relationship, at least from your end, you're doing it for you. Because in the end, that grudge you hold, those harsh feelings you hold against that person, don't do anything to them. They affect you. There's another story I really liked. It was about a man who was in the ICU, and he had 1,500 friends on Facebook, and he had 500 followers on Twitter, and he had 500 followers on Instagram. But as he laid in ICU, the only people in the hallway were his mom and dad, his wife, and his kids. The people that really mattered in his life. Because see, I love social media. I have a blast with it. But it's only social media. It's a click. It's a thumbs up. It's a heart. It's a laugh symbol. Some of you see when they put some stuff up, I put that little guy that's vomiting, the little emoji up. But it's fun stuff. But you got to really connect with people. It can't just be on social media if somebody truly matters to you. There's a guy in my food bank, one of the people that I deliver to, an older guy, and a farmer. And Saturday when I delivered, I was kind of in a hurry, had some things I had to get taken care of, and I was kind of on a time frame. So I didn't get to stay as long as I normally do and talk. And you could tell he was disappointed. He was glad I was there. And he said, next month when you come around, make sure you got some time to talk. We'll have a beer and sit on the porch. The reason I'm telling you that is because it's that relationship with two people that matters most. The Corvette that I just sold, I loved. Nothing happened to me because I sold it. The mansion on the hill, I have to be honest with you. I know people that live in houses that are 10 times nicer than mine in my tiny little town here, and they're not half the man I am. And I'm not saying that in a bragging way. I'm saying that stuff doesn't make or break you. That stuff is just stuff. It's relationships you have with people. I've said before that gratitude is the key to happiness. Also great relationships with people who uplift you. Okay, not toxic people. Not people who you say you're sorry, you forgive them, and they keep doing stuff over and over again and bringing you down. People like Dave and Colette who are on here. People like Dr. Bob. Okay? People that lift you up, people that encourage you, people that inspire you. And when I tell those people that, they give me the same thing back. Isn't that funny? That I inspire them, that I lift them up. So those kind of relationships enrich your life. Stuff doesn't. Okay? You're driving a Lamborghini doesn't make you any better than me because I'm driving a Jeep Wrangler or a Ford Escape. Actually, a Jeep Wrangler could drive over top of the Lamborghini, so that's a bad example. But it doesn't make you a man or a woman. It doesn't make you who you are. You've got to work on relationships. And again, it's for you more than anything. But I'm going to give everybody an assignment since everybody was... I'm going to tell you one more thing too. I never leave an encounter with someone who's important to me without hugs and or I love yous. Ever. My kids, hug them and kiss them and love them to death. My grandson, same thing. Bob, we talk every day, and he always gets an I love you, brother, and I get one back. Dave and Colette, Dave will call me a few times a week. We do some business together. They get an I love you. They get hugs. That's just the way it's supposed to be. Now, you may not be a real emotional person. I had a buddy of mine years ago that wasn't, and I'd say, I love you, man. And he'd always ask me, why do you say that to me? I said, because I could leave here and get killed in an accident. You're going to know I cared about you. You were important to me. So I'm going to give everybody a little bit of a challenge. If you want to fix some things, if you want to kind of keep that 30 days of acts of random kindness going, but in a different way, reach out to someone that you haven't spoken to in a while. Reach out to someone that maybe you had a strained relationship with. And just say, hey, I was thinking about you, how you doing? But I don't want you to do it in a text message, and I'm the king of texting. I text everybody. That's what I do. Pick up the phone. Give them a call. Stop by the house. Just say, hey, was in the neighborhood. I was just thinking about you. Want to see how you're doing. Hope all's well. Miss talking to you. It could be something as simple as that. Hi, Mary Beth and Kim. So something as simple as that. Figure out somebody in your life that you maybe need to set things straight with. Now remember, not toxic people. They need to go. But people in your life, there's got to be someone that you need to maybe reach out to. So take the challenge. Pick up the phone, stop by their house or where they work or whatever, and say hi. Say, how have you been? I was thinking about you, hope you're well. So if it's somebody that's a really strained relationship you have no interest in hanging out with anymore, sometimes just something like that can be enough. It's going to make you feel awesome inside just to do that, because it means you've let go of those grudges and those negative feelings. I'm going to end it there. I know I rambled a little bit, but I thought it was an important topic. So I want you to reach out to me on here. Give me some feedback, some comments if you want. I'm still open to topic suggestions. I seem to come up with them good. But and also check out my podcast. It's called Best Life 101. It's on Anchor FM. It's also on Spotify, Apple, iTunes. It's on Google Play Music, Pocket Cast. It's all over the place. If you go on to Apple or you go on to Spotify and you simply type in Best Life 101, all run together, Best Life 101, in the search bar, up will pop my picture and you'll know it's the proper podcast. It's called Best Life 101. Check it out. I put it out 3 times a week. There's a lot of content like this on there. So if you enjoy these Bobcasts, I think you'll really enjoy the podcast. Hi, Jill. Bob Dog. Glad you're on. Hey, so I'm going to cut it off there. I went a little long, but reach out to me. Check out the podcast. And if you really like the content, there's even an option on there for you to support the podcast. So I'd appreciate any feedback you can get, or any listeners, or any reviews of it if you can. Have a great Monday evening, and I'll talk to you next week on the next edition of Bobcast.